Welcome to Leeds College, Peshawar. My name is Inayat Afridi and I am a lecturer of English in Comparative Literature at Leeds College English Department. In today's lecture, I will focus on neurolinguistics and I will also focus on areas in human brain that regulates and maintain the language we speak and the language through which we convey our ideas and we coordinate different activities. First of all, I'll get on what exactly neurolinguistics is. Remember that neurolinguistics is a specialized branch of linguistics and science that deals with the relationship between human brains and the language we speak and we convey idea through. Now remember that whenever we speak language or whenever we convey ideas, these activities are controlled in principal parts of the human brain. I will be discussing these parts in detail, but before that it is very important to understand that when linguistics was introduced in language and science. Now remember that the linguistics, being specialized branch of the language and science, was initially introduced in 19th century. Now, getting on the second part of the lecture, that the areas in the human brain that controls, regulates and processes the language are fundamentally three principal areas in the human brains. The first one is the Broca area, the second one is the Wernicke area, and the third one, fundamentally important, is the motor cortex and Arcuate fasciculus. First, I get on the first one as the Broca area. Remember that this Broca area is also called interior speech cortex and it is located in the left cerebral hemispheres of the human brain. Now the point is that the Broca area was initially introduced and described by a French anatomist and anthropologist named Paul Broca in 1860. Paul Broca described that if this part, mean the Broca area of the left cerebral hemisphere, is damaged accidentally, then the individual is not able to produce speech and sounds in voice. Right from this point, we indicate that the Broca area in the human brain is responsible to coordinate speech sounds and it is responsible to produce speech. Now the second important in the principal parts of the human brain that controls the language is the Wernicke area, which is also called posterior speech cortex. Now remember, this part was initially described by Karl Marx, who was a German surgeon, in 1870. Remember, the Wernicke area in the human brain is responsible for comprehending speech and statement or maybe any argument. If the Wernicke area of the human brain is damaged, we are not able to comprehend speech, arguments or maybe any statement. But it has some other principles, functions, including it controls the speech fluency, it controls the intonations, the patterns of the voice and the sounds, how we raise and lower the sounds is principally controlled by the Wernicke areas of the human brain. Now the third, a little bit important, the part of the human brain is the motor cortex and the Arcuate fasciculus. The motor cortex controls the muscle movements in the human body, but the specialized areas where it controls the muscle movements are the mouth, face and the larynx regions in the human brain. Now remember that these two were initially described by neurosurgeons including Penfield in 1950s and Robert in 1959. But the point is, what function does Arcuate fasciculus performs in the human brain? Remember that the Arcuate fasciculus is a bundle of nerves and axons that connects the Broca areas with the Wernicke areas. Its principal function is to coordinate and link the activities of the Brocas with the Wernicke areas. Keep in touch with English. Have a nice time. Thank you very much for time.